Nelson Mandela Bay Mayor Eugene is pleading with residents and visitors to urgently reduce their water consumption. That's because dams that are supplying water to the metro are only at 17% full. This is on average. Unexpected rain last month, though, may have brought the metro some time, before day zero at least. That's when taps run dry. But adding to that pressure are delays to the major Nooitgedacht Water Treatment Project, which will treat water from the Northern Cape's dam, which is the Gariep Dam. Nelson Mandela Bay Water Director is Barry Martin. He joins us now via our video link to give us a sense of the extent of this crisis. And Barry, it's great to have you on the program. Thanks very much indeed for making time. Let me begin by just gauging from you where the situation stands as you and I speak today in the context of the rain.
Good morning to you and good morning to your listeners. Firstly, a dry Christmas was a harsh reality about 4 weeks ago in that region in November. But fortunately, because of the recent rains, this has shifted our dam levels from then in the 10% regions to the 17-18% that we have at this present point in time. And therefore, the available rain that has run into our dam catchments, this has now pushed that dry taps period into the future to at least to the end of January, February, at least for us. And that has been a very big relief for us because of the late rains, the late summer rains that we are fortunate to receive. And that is the reason why we can have a short sigh of relief, but we're by no chance out of the woods because our dams are only sitting at 17%. And just coming out of our major rainfall period of the year, we will obviously have to preserve this that we have until next year, August, September, when the spring to summer rains would then come again. So we by no chance at the wood, and we need to continue to use water sparingly. Yeah,
there are fears that residents are oblivious to this crisis. Is that a sense that you're also getting?
There are a sense, people sometimes they want water and cry for water, but sometimes we forget the context that we're in a dry period, and it's probably like a COVID fatigue as well. We have a drought fatigue because we've been in a dry period for 7 years now already, 3 times longer than what COVID has been, and probably that is also stuck in. But unfortunately, because we have to move water all around the city through our pumping schemes, periodically people have suffered without water, and we have to remind people that we are in a drought, and this is the knock-on effects thereof, that we have only got so much water to use, and we have to make the maximum use of it. So in order to make the maximum use of it, if we use water sparingly, we can move the water to where it's most needed and wanted.
Of course.
On the Nooitgedacht scheme, as indicated, unfortunately, construction has stopped there because of a contractor's dispute, as you referred to earlier on. We are working with the Department of Water and Sanitation to take over the project now and to facilitate the completion thereof. We are just in the final discussions with the department, and we hope to start with this project again early in the new year.
Right. It does lead me to asking the question around whether or not you get the sense that this crisis has been exacerbated by extenuating factors, external factors, for lack of a better term. This dispute, obviously, is one of them, but there's also been a lot of criticism against, officials there around just general mismanagement of things like infrastructure, which adds to the problem without a doubt.
Mismanagement of infrastructure, you must define what we say. We, as the officials managing the water infrastructure, we deal with the matters at hand. If there's a broken pipe, electrical outage or the like, we have our maintenance teams on standby that take care of these aspects. When it comes to rehabilitation of infrastructure and the renewal of infrastructure, those are huge capital investments that do take place from time to time. And I can confidently say that the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro has tried to stay abreast with this. Recently, we have just finished the completion of a major pump station, which cost about 100 million rand. The Luri water treatment works has also just been completed in the last financial year through rehabilitation works, and that's treatment works that's been operating since the 60s already. So we've gradually gone through a process of renewing. Also on the Nooitgedacht water treatment works, this is phase 3 that is now come to a halt. But the first 2 phases that was done, we've also, as part of these phases, also did rehabilitation work in that. So it is not only creating of new assets that the municipality looks at, we actually refurbish and rehabilitate our existing infrastructure. One of the key elements that are dealing with currently is what we call the east to west transfer to make maximum use of Nooitgedacht. These pump stations were built in the 2010 period, and we are busy upgrading those pump stations already to take care of the additional water that will be coming in from Nooitgedacht. So forward planning has been taken place, and budgeting on our finances has been taken place to actually accommodate for these measures in future. Likewise, with the current financial year that we are in, the Nelson Mandela Bay Council had to shift a lot of its monies from other deserving projects to the drought projects to make work of the 5 or 6 major drought projects to the value of over 363 million rand. And so Council has played its part to allocate money, and the contracts are on course and on running. And we foresee that the water treatment works at Kugelkop for the boreholes will come on stream on September as planned. The other smaller treatment works and smaller works will be coming on stream in April and May next year. And therefore, our ability to save water now, to take us through those 1 or 2 critical milestones of April and September, October next year, are the milestones that we're aiming at, so that we can save our water until then, until those additional water comes in, as well as the anticipated new rainfall for the new rain season.
Right. Let me ask the question this way. Are you happy with the state of infrastructure in the metro? Water infrastructure, that is.
I can't say that I'm happy, because the infrastructure is old. Like the whole of South Africa, we are suffering from aging infrastructure. I mean, we've got 10,000 water and sanitation, approximately water and sanitation infrastructure in the metro. So there's continuous problems that you have, and fixing of pipes, and it is an ongoing process. A pipe you've installed today, 5 years later it's old, or 10 years later it's old, and you must start refurbishing it. So since 1994, the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro has built just short of 100,000 houses with that water and sanitation infrastructure underground. So we are more than 20 years into democracy. A pipeline's lifespan is about 20 years to 30 years. So by default, that infrastructure is old already. So you have to go into a continuous process of rehabilitation into the future to deal with maintenance work. So it's a never-ending equation. It's a daily task of the water and sanitation industry that you have to rehabilitate. Like you tar a road from time to time, like you resurface a road to improve, to prevent potholes and stuff like that. It's exactly the same thing that we have to do with water and sanitation continuously. Unfortunately, our infrastructure is underground, and it's more complicated to rehabilitate that.
Barry Martin is the Water and Sanitation Director at the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. Barry, once again, thanks very much indeed for your time.